Listen, I don't know who need to hear this, but if you living in London crying on TikTok about America while sipping milk lattes in a country that colonized the half of the damn world, maybe, just maybe, you are not the revolutionary you think you are. Because I'm watching this video of a so-called activist having a full-blown breakdown over a bill she clearly didn't read, and all I'm hearing is, I'm mad, I'm emotional, I'm not informed, but I'm going to yell about it anyway, and I'm supposed to take this seriously? No, we're not doing that today. But anyway, family, let's check out the video. I'll give you my thoughts, and I also want to have a conversation with you guys down in the comments below. Well, with no further ado, let's check it out.
I genuinely don't understand how anybody is okay right now. Like this bill that just passed, big beautiful bill, big piece of shit bill, it will take the health care from so many people. So many people are going to die. Veterans are going to die. Poor people are going to die. Kids whose families can't afford treatment are going to die. So many people in like the US, like there were whistleblowers, mercenaries that said that they're shooting Palestinians that are trying to get food at the food centers. Like they're shooting them with live ammunition. These people are fucking desperate. They're desperate and they don't have any food. I've seen the bodies of like starving babies that are just skin and bone, and it is the most evil thing I've ever seen. And I just don't understand how we can be so evil in every single time that I think it can't get worse. The US can't do any worse than it's already doing now. It's just so bad. They do. They make it worse.
Well, let's start with the basics. A bill gets passed, is pro veteran, pro disabled, pro working class. It literally protects benefits for seniors and veterans, lower taxes, cut waste, and incentivize Americans' job growth. And the response from the left is, it's going to kill veterans, a death bill is genocide, and it's destroying America and it's going to kill Americans. Ma'am, respectfully, are you okay? These folks are online practically frothing at the mouth, convinced that Trump just passed a bill that's going to turn every hospital into a funeral home. Meanwhile, they couldn't even name the actual title of the legislation. Here's what this really is, okay? Liberal outrage culture on full display. It's emotional theater, and frankly, it's exhausting. You want to know what's actually in the bill? Let's break it down. Veterans protected, disabled Americans protected, seniors protected, overtime pay and tips tax free, more money in your pocket, middle class tax credits expanded, job growth encouraged through American reinvestment. The tax credits that I'm talking about that expanded is, it went from when you file your child, when a person files a kid for income tax, instead of getting 2,500, they get 2,800. If I'm not mistaken, I'm always open to the possibility of being wrong. Check me down in the comments below, but I believe it's 2,800 all the way to 2028 when it comes to the child tax credit being expanded. That's what I mean by the middle class tax credits being expanded. Job growth, I already told you, encouraging through American reinvestment. Welfare abuse addressed. If you are able bodied and not disabled, go to school, volunteer, or work 20 hours to qualify. Permanent 2017 tax cuts locked in. This is a policy package for working Americans, period. So, what's the problem? Oh, right. The problem is Trump did it. If Biden passed the same bill, these same people would be in the streets with glitter signs screaming, "Yes, we can," while handing out avocado toast. Am I tripping here? Because that's what I believe. That's just my opinion, though, right? I'm always open to the possibility of being wrong. Let me know in the comments below. But because it came from one guy they've been trained to hate, suddenly it's the apocalypse. It blows my mind, family. But let it continue.
Like this is a big reason I don't want kids too, is like what future are we leaving our children? This bill's gonna affect us for the next like 50 to 80 years. Like I will never see a world or our country be good because it's gonna just tank throughout the rest of my lifetime.
Take
And what
what?
future do we have to offer our kids? What future? What is there to offer them when only the 1% like have the money? No one else has any kind of wealth or any kind, not even enough to live. They work us to death. They work us until we're so tired that we don't have any energy to strike, to organize, to protest. Like people won't collectively walk out of their jobs or strike because they can't lose their jobs because their jobs are tied to their health care. I'm blabbering, but I'm just like, just fuck. Like, this is so fucked up. And I'm so fucking sick of the Palestinian people suffering, like, putting oxycodone in the flour because they're so hungry and desperate. And they're drugging them. They're shooting them when they come to get food. They're bombing fucking tents. They're bombing tents of people. I've never seen so much evil. I've never seen so much evil. And what do I do? What do I do? I've called my representatives. I've written my representatives. I've called other representatives that aren't even my own and written them. Gone to protests. I've participated in the boycotts whenever they happen, but there aren't any really like long-term ones. I've done the long-term ones for Palestine. I don't go to Starbucks. I try not to, I don't buy Coca-Cola anymore. And I even gave up Goodles, and I fucking love Goodles because the owner is a Zionist, so now I can't have Goodles, and that's fine. I don't need Goodles, but like, what else can I do? There's like nothing I can fucking do. I don't have money, and you have to have money to be powerful. You have no power if you're not rich, and it's just I just can't. We have fucking concentration camp in Florida. Call it whatever, alligator, Alcatraz, whatever. It's a fucking concentration camp that they're sending immigrants to.
Illegal immigrants.
How have we let it get to this point? How? God, I'm fucking crashing out, but we are so fucking cooked. Our country's so fucking cooked. And I'm like trying to debate, do I pull all my money out of my bank account over there because the economy is going to tank? Do I need to take all my money out and convert it to pounds since I live in London now? Well, if I do that, then I'm going to lose a lot of money because our money's not worth as much as it is over here. And then I constantly think, like, what's the point of life? Like, why am I alive? Like, I'm not going to hurt myself. Don't send this to the well-being people. I don't know who you'd even send it to in England, but I'm not a threat to myself. But it's like, what's the purpose of life? I just exist. I go to work and I leave and I exist, and I barely make enough to get through, and I exist. What is there to look forward to? What am I looking forward to in life? I'm not having a family. Not in this economy, not in this world, in this evil. What do I have to look forward to? I can travel some, but not a lot. I don't have that, like, I have more PTO here than I did in the US, but like, I make less than half of what I made when I was in the US, so I don't really have money to travel. What is there to look forward to in life? I haven't felt like I've had a purpose since I finished grad school and like achieved my career goal. And now I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. I'm just fucking pissed. I'm just so pissed.
All right. Now let's get into the part that she really sends people, or that really sends people off the rails. Palestine, right? Listen, I have empathy for any innocent human being caught in a war zone, but I also have a brain. And what I'm seeing online right now is not just empathy, it's a weaponized sob story attached to propaganda talking points straight out of TikTok and echo chambers, or TikTok echo chambers. She says people are shooting starving Palestinians at food centers with live ammo. Okay, where's the proof? Because the videos I've seen, half of them are repurposed footage from other conflicts or games. Yeah, games like Armor 3, but nobody checks because it fits the narrative. You got people putting oxycodone in flour. Come on, that's not a fact. That's a tweet someone made after their 3 glasses of boxed wine and Vice article from 2016. And she says this is why she doesn't want to have kids. Good. Maybe we need less emotionally unstable people raising the next generation. And just when I thought we'll reach peak delusion, she hits us with the bombshell. She says, I'm thinking of pulling all my money out of America bank account and converting it to pounds since I live in London now. You live in London? Bro, you don't even live here in the United States. You dipped out probably on some gap year self discovery retreat, but now you want to tell us how to run the country while you living in a place where the queen is on your money? Get the heck out of here, man. If you want to be an activist, go to Gaza, go to Sudan, go help the people you cry about instead of sitting in a well furnished apartment in a first world country yelling into your iPhone. This is what I call comfortable rage. It's activism from a distance. It's scrolling through Twitter, picking up a couple buzzwords, slapping them on a TikTok, and crying to a ring light about the fall of democracy. But do these people actually do anything? No. You don't want to work. You don't want to volunteer. You don't want to run for your local office. You don't want to have the uncomfortable conversations that go beyond hashtags. You want to just be mad because it makes you feel morally superior. Meanwhile, the real changes are happening, but you're too blinded by identity politics and feelings over facts to recognize it. And she's talking about the whole Florida. She tried to call it a concentration camp. What's the Florida immigrant the Florida immigrant center? It's called alligator outstretch, right? The whole purpose of it is when it comes to that is it's a new facility in Florida and it actually has an airport connect to it so they can get illegal immigrants out of the country, which is the United States, effectively because they have an airport right there. So then it gets rid of all of the other detours or distractions or delays or actually things that slow up the process when it comes to shipping out illegal immigrants back to where they came from, which is that country, and getting them to detention centers where they drive them in vans, SUVs, make sure they have bed, food, and they also have air conditioner. So they basically have beds that are like the military, right? Right? They say 3 meals in a cot, right? That's the saying they say, even when it comes to the American prison system. And what I'm trying to say is, if you look at it from the Obama administration, they had them in cages in Arizona, sitting on gravel on the ground with no air conditioning, just sitting in cages with their children, with no air conditioner to stay cool in Arizona heat. There was no ventilation, just sitting outside in cages, ready to get deported. So it's not a concentration camp, or they're making sure they're well off going back to their country respectfully, because they are doing the humane thing. They're not leaving them out to starve, leaving them out to dry, leaving them out there burning and being in the dire sun in Florida, out there in the new immigrants facility, which is Alligator Outstretch, which she's trying to call a concentration camp, which is spreading propaganda and misleading information. So let's take stock of where we're at right now in America. Stock market up, inflation down, purchase power improving, jobs growing, foreign policy ceasefires in the Middle East, Rwanda, Congo, truce, not perfect but moving, domestic policy, America first policies in place. But does that stop screaming or stop her screaming? Nope. Because if Trump cured cancer tomorrow, liberals would protest on behalf of the tumor. And not to mention that gas prices are down further than ever than the last past 3 years. And Donald Trump only has been in office for 6 months. We have 6 months left in a year. So here's the thing people don't want to say out loud. The left needs to feel oppressed. It's part of their identity now. Without it, they're just college educated adults with expensive therapists and no actual personality. They latch onto causes not because they want change, but because it gives them meaning by constantly circulating the problem, but not really coming up to real solutions or speaking factually. But the moment solutions show up, real practical, boring solutions, they lose interest to the point where even if a therapist was guiding them to rechange their mind within the new, change their mind within the renewing of their mind to get to solutions, because a therapist, I respect my therapists out there, mad respect to them, who actually talks the person into actually going into their mind to understand the root issue so they can do the work. But when you have these individuals who wants to sit in the cause but not want real change because rage is easier to sell than reason. And it don't even get me started on the liberals with the whole industrial complex. Every time there's a global tragedy, it's like they're in competition for who can cry the loudest in a 60-second vertical video. It's not activism, it's performance, okay? So what do? Stay grounded in the facts, not feelings. We hold politicians accountable no matter who's in office, but we also give credit where it's due because people are pretending everything is falling apart when isn't. When it isn't. That's not activism. So that's just fear mongering, which which blows my mind because they'll fall apart when things are really falling apart, but then they'll fall apart even when things isn't falling apart and real solutions are taking place. So can these individuals can even be satisfied at this point? If she cares about Palestine, go volunteer. If you care about veterans, support legislation that protects them, like this bill that she's complaining about. If you care about wealth inequality, build something. Start a business. Teach financial literacy. Invest in your community. Just do something other than cry and your camera while living abroad, sipping imported matcha and blaming America for everything wrong in the universe. Listen, the country isn't perfect, but it's not burning to the ground either. So stop letting people who haven't read a darn page of legislation tell you what they think, and stop letting people who don't even live in America tell you that your country is evil. We are not cooked. We are not collapsing. We are correcting right now. America is in a correction phase. America is closed down for shop right now. America is working on America. Slowly, maybe messily, but we're correcting. We're correcting and we're staying focused. So you stay focused, stay informed, and for the love of all that is holy, stop taking your worldview from TikTok. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm curious to get you guys' perspective on that. No family. Love you guys. Peace.